Latest episodes of was the Bill Squire show still happening over the break?
Did one episode, well, maybe two, but we did. I wasn't there for one of them. Santa Claus filled in for me. He did a pretty good job. And then didn't do one last week because I was so down from the vaccine, the boost.
Oh, gotcha.
The booster knocked me on my ass, and we couldn't, and then like other people on the show had COVID, so we were just like, yeah, won't worry about it this week. But
yeah,
the Santa Claus episode's pretty fun.
Well, so there's some recent episodes of that. The latest Poundcake podcast is up there as well. And I assume that didn't happen over the break.
No, because I do it here, and when I got COVID, I did not come in here. But I ordered a new microphone. And
hey.
Yeah, but it's like ridiculous.
But you could still do it in your bed. No, or you can't.
My microphone was broken.
Oh. The microphone that you had used before in bed?
Yeah, it's like it's not physically broken. I don't know if it had like water or something in it, but like no, I'm serious. But like when I was talking,
no, I know you're serious. That's why I was laughing. Only you would have to worry about water damage in your microphone.
I just don't know what happened to it because when I was talking into it, it was all distorted, and I recorded like an hour-long podcast, and then I was like, I'm not recording another hour-long podcast for it to do the same thing. So I just was like,
so you've never tested it again?
No, I did.
Okay.
It did do it, but I don't know what's wrong. So the only time I can test it is when I'm recording again. And by that time, I'm like, I was trying to troubleshoot. All right. Oh, that might be weird. I had to finish my gummy worm. I'll have to spit.
Is your New Year's resolution not to eat on your podcast? Or are you going to keep that because it's raw and real?
It's tradition.
Okay.
Tradition.
It's what they come to expect.
You don't ever want to break tradition. It's heritage, not hate, Bill. Heritage, not hate.
That's right.
You'll be disappointed.
If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio from wherever you are, thank you for doing that. Tell us where you are. Kristen is a brand new bureau chief in San Antonio, Texas. Mike listens in Charlotte. Jeff is in Warren, PA. Anne Marie is in Lovettsville, Virginia. And D-Rock listens in El Paso, Tejas. And, of course, Dustin has already called the After Hours line if you want to hear a call from Dustin.
Alan, it's Dustin down here in Georgia. I just wanted to call and welcome all you guys back on air. I know y'all probably had a good vacation, but I tell you, man, I'm about to lose my mind sitting at the house. Had 5 days off of Christmas, had 4 days off of New Year's, so I'm sitting at home now. But don't you worry, I'll have it hammered down, headed to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow. But, I'm glad.
I was worried. I was worried that 9 days.
It's too much.
There might be too long there. He did say that, and I'm glad. He put me at ease.
Glad Mayor's still alive. I've mentally prepared myself for today's show because I know, first Christmas without her dad was hard. She wanted to take a drink, but she didn't, plus she had COVID, so I'm sure that was, probably pretty bad, but she's still alive, so that's good. So, anyways, hope y'all have a great show. I'll be standing by, listening. See you. Bye.
Huh, there you go. Well, he's happy that you're still alive.
I am still alive.
According to Dustin.
Yeah.
Right.
First round of holidays without my dad was so tough. It was so hard. Like, everybody in my family was pretty much a mess because it's just like, you don't realize that. I mean, yeah, he's gone all the time and he's not going to be there, but it's just like, there's no text message. We're not going to his house. We're not doing anything. Although I wish he was here, it was so impossible. It was like I cried for most of the break. It was so bad. Like you texted us yesterday, like if you want to talk about anything over break, let us know. And I was like, man, my break kind of sucked and it's real depressing.
Like, yeah, and I didn't do anything. I sat at home.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah, there aren't a lot of holiday stories. Bill's got a couple.
I got a couple.
Yeah.
And then also, my 39th Christmas with my dad, he's still around. Still terrible.
Was it so bad? A lot of crying.
Oh, no.
Couldn't even pull it together.
Still terrible.
No, I thought I was.
Well, he's just, him and my uncle, when they get together, they start blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, Eddie, so like we all just slowly walk away from them because Christmas Eve I went over there for dinner.
You got nice gifts from your mom, didn't you?
Oh, damn it, I forgot to bring them in. Can I show you those tomorrow? Because
that's fine.
You have to see them. I forgot. With everything else
that was in your email. So
I know, and I as soon as you said that, I was like, dang it, because they were right next to all the other presents that I was bringing in, and I just didn't grab them. But my mom made me some gifts, and I want to show them off.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She is very talented.
She put a lot of work into
yes,
them.
Yeah, she's very talented.
All right. You had a gig on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve was very fun.
Was this a place where there was a balloon drop and champagne toast and all that?
No,
Hey.
this was actually the best New Year's Eve gig because the guy, his name's Tim, he's like, hey, I want you to come out to my place. We do comedy here. We already have the setup. All you got to do is show up. We'll pay you this much. It's a real great gig. And he's like, we'll be done by 10 o'clock. I'm like, so you don't want me to stick around
and do
till
the ball
midnight
drop?
and do
Yeah.
that thing, which is the worst. He's
It's
like,
so awkward
"Nope."
every time.
It's so awkward because everybody else is there with their person. And then
And
it's
you're just
me.
on stage like, "Tim."
There we go.
Yeah, but you're just the host. You
Yeah.
cheers everybody and you walk
Yeah.
off, and you're the MC.
You're right, but as the headliner, you're just
But did
I'm
you
done.
have anybody that you were with?
No, I didn't have anybody that I was with, but I did make love to a steak on a stone.
I was gonna say being off stage at that time would call attention to the fact that you weren't with any. I think you'd want to be on stage.
If you're alone,
yeah.
why not? You're not kissing
No,
anybody anyway.
10, 9, yeah.
New Year's Eve is not a fun night. Like, it's not a night that I give a crap about. Like, I don't care about
an
kissing
amateur
anybody at midnight or any of that stuff. I don't care. So I was happy to go to Geneva on the Lake, hang out, do some comedy, and this guy, they do the steak. Have you guys ever had a steak on a stone?
Yes.
No.
It's so good.
It's just a hot rock that cooks your meat, right?
It's a hot rock, and they're like, and we have to say this, don't touch it. And I'm like, why would I touch a 700
then he comes out,
degree?
you're like, I wanna touch it.
I'm like, man, I really
People want to touch hot stuff.
A 700-degree rock?
No, steak
Yeah.
on a stone. I don't know if it was Black Rock or where it was. That was the place in Detroit where I got stuck with the whole bill for the bachelor party.
Oh.
The $800 bill for the bachelor,
Yeah.
But yeah, steak on a stone is fun.
It's fun,
so they
yeah.
do this out there in Geneva on the Lake.
Yeah, they do it at Geneva on the Lake Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And it's a great cut of meat, and it's kind of fun to figure out, like, okay, how thick do I want to cut it? How long? So you're kind of...
So you don't have a steak stone. Like we have a steak stone. You've never cooked your own steak on a stone.
No.
Okay.
Do you have a steak stone?
Yeah.
I have a cast iron pan.
Yeah, I have
Have one of those
pan.
too?
Is that the same?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't have a steak stone, but I cooked the steak on a stone in, just sitting there at the bar eating a piece of steak, and the comics are coming up trying to like introduce themselves. I'm like, I don't even care
Right,
about you
anything.
right now because that steak was so good. So that's who I kissed at midnight.
You kissed that steak on a stone.
Filet.
Yeah, so good.
He got filleted.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, good.
And then last night we did that show at Hilarities, the Ryan and Dalton and Friends.
Oh, yeah.
So we, Mary and I pretended to be his friend for the sake of
Just
the show.
he's home and he needs
Uncle
it,
Party.
you know?
Yeah, Uncle Party. And so remember before break, the one day I came back and then I got sick. Mm-hmm. And I told
the
a
first
story.
week of December.
It was the first week of December, and I opened up for Todd Barry
In Detroit.
but also I did a show in Cleveland. We did, it was in Lakewood.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday night was Winchester, and then Sunday was Detroit. Then I missed that Monday, came in on Tuesday, and I told a story about a customer that tried to come to the show, got there after I was already done, and then her friend was super drunk, walked behind the merch table by me and Todd, and got tossed.
Right. Listener brought a drunk friend,
Yes.
and
Got
the friend
thrown
was
out, yeah.
really
Yes.
drunk. Yeah.
Now, I'm finding out that listener was also pretty drunk that night and then came to my show last night at Hilarities.
Our show.
Yes, our show.
So she was able. These were two girls.
Well, this is a different... She had a different companion this time.
No, but the first time it's two girls.
It's two girls.
Yeah. The listener's a girl. Her friend was a girl.
Yeah.
But the listener clearly was able to hide her inebriation much better.
Right.
Okay. Because you thought she was fine. It was the friend who was
Like out of her mind, yeah.
animated, and right.
Yeah. Her friend was just... her friend literally walked past security
Yeah.
to, like, stand
Sure,
next
Todd
to him.
enjoyed that a great deal.
Todd was not thrilled.
Such a finicky man.
Oh, that guy's like almost
Yeah.
60. Yeah, he's like, I've been doing this for 40 years. Get the hell out of my face.
So they threw her out, the security threw her out that night. Last night, she's telling me that she's going to come to the show again. And I was like, okay, come to the show. That's fine. And all through the show, you just hear this woman talking
Oh, no.
Now
every
she
bit.
wasn't even heckling. She was like co-signing. So a comic on stage, so a comic on stage would say something. Oh, I went to the grocery store last week, and she'd be like, I love Kroger. Like you would just hear, would hear something that was half relevant being shouted out, which is still interrupting, but it's not.
It's interrupting, and then it just keeps happening after each comic goes, hey, you don't need to keep doing that.
Yeah.
You don't keep
It's just because she was drunk.
And she was drunk, and this time she came with her sister, I think is what she told me. And
I feel like she's used to people not listening to her.
I don't know what it was.
She needs to be heard.
She wants to be heard.
They were annoying, and I was like fourth on the lineup because it went like Ryan Dalton did like 20, and then 2 other comics, and then me. So and each one of them had told her to be quiet, and the venue had told them to be quiet. And then when I get up there, I'm like, "Hey, everybody else has said this to you already, but shut up." Bitch. And I didn't even know it was her yet. And then
This is the listener.
And then the rest of my set's done, and I get a message on Instagram, and it's one of those voice messages.
Oh God.
And it's from her sister, and she's like, "How come every time she comes to your show, she gets thrown out?" She knows it's you that's having her thrown out, and if you don't want to be around her, then just don't be around. I'm like,
oh my God.
I don't even know what to tell you.
Why would she think it was you and not the fact that she was hammered and heckling?
Here's my question.
Why wouldn't that be anyone's default position? Was like, well, clearly.
Because they think they're helping, 1.
Yeah.
2, what do you do to women that make them act this way? Why do women get so and I'm
smug.
going to include myself in this because I've screamed at you like that on air. You effing know better. This girl's sister's freaking out on you. I've cried at you before.
At you.
Yes,
It's good to be Bill Squire.
You've got a special way with Yeah, such a special way with the ladies, Bill.
I don't know what
Listen,
it is. And this is a girl
some
that
people-
she told me she was like, we should get a drink or something like that. I'm like, I'm not that interested. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested. Just whatever. And I told her that. And then she's like, I'm going to come out today. And I'm like, fine, come see the comedy show. That's fine. I don't mind if you come out. But then,
She was taking out her feels on you.
yeah, then they
Would
got,
you like to sniff my testicles?
it's just one of those things where like her sister sends me the voice message, and she's just like, she's been thrown out twice, and if you just don't be a coward and come and tell her, I'm like, I'm not trying to date her, nothing to do with me. You can't do that. You can't act like that at a comedy show and expect to be able to stay to the end. They're just not going to let you do it.
I am, and I shouldn't be, I am perpetually amazed at how oblivious so many people are. Just walking around, not aware of what's going on. Like they've never been to a show before, anywhere. Yeah. That sounds like there was a couple more things going on there than.
I think there was. I don't know.
But you never. But you had no history. There was no
No
gazebo.
history. No,
gotcha.
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Right.
Just her.
She had a parasocial relationship with you.
That's exactly right. I'm like the John Mulaney over here.
Oh.
Men definitely hit the remote button more than women, wouldn't you?
Really? That is so true.
Yes, men don't care what's on TV. Men only care what else is on TV.
Yeah, right on.
Women really want to see what the show is before they change the channel.
Oh, that is so true. Yes. Yes.
That's why men hunt and women nest.
Pretty similar to that.
Spot on. That's funny.
Wow.
Because she would agree, but then
She in the front row?
No, she was in like the back, and it wasn't a
Oh, so she
it
wanted
was a
to be
Dalton
heard.
crowd, so she was still pretty close to front.
Well, I was gonna.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was fun, but it was just weird because she would agree with stuff, and then she would start having her own conversation too. So it
Right.
was just really distracting. And then that message, the voice message to me after I got off stage, I was just like, well, I wonder what this is going to be. And it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Except I didn't think they would accuse me of being the one having them
it all,
tossed.
yeah.
But
You know better.
yeah, make women yell.
so how did you respond to that?
I blocked her.
Blocked her.
Yeah.
and now I'm talking about it on the radio.
Well, I mean, nobody knows what we're talking about, but I'm just saying, like,
She knows.
right? One person, but I'm saying, so their sister left you a voicemail or left you a DM?
You can send voice messages on Instagram. So
I
you
understand
can record
that.
it.
Yeah.
So it's like a voicemail on
That's
your
what she
Instagram.
sent me.
That's what she sent.
Yeah.
She did, okay.
Voice message on Instagram.
Which means she was too angry to type.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been there. Or too drunk.
Right.
Or driving.
I don't know.
Those things.
But there's nothing to keep this same person from showing up to any one of your shows and repeating this.
Well,
True.
Just doing
the
it
same
again.
results will continue to happen.
Right.
Because that's what happens at comedy shows. If you are disruptive, you get tossed. So don't do that.
Yeah, I had a conversation.
Don't do that.
I was having a conversation this morning with one Jeffrey LaRocque, who. Sorry, I looked over and Mary was making a face that I hadn't expected. You're just apropos of nothing. Just a bad time for me to look over. I was having an impromptu tete-a-tete with one Jeffrey LaRocque this morning, and he was mentioning how he went to see Tammy Pescatelli over the break at the Funny Stop. She's very funny.
Sweet, too.
And very nice. Yep, a local gal. And he was talking about some guy in the front who was heckling who was drunk and heckling. I'm like, was this the early show or the late show? And he said it was a late show. I go, oh, okay, well, you know.
Yeah, people are drunk.
But I think Pete or somebody threw him right out.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
You gotta police the room, baby.
I had a set. What Dustin is referencing, I posted a very emotional video on my Instagram on, I think it was the 23rd.
This wasn't
of
you
Christmas.
watching ghost shows again, was it? Oh, okay.
On the 23rd of Christmas, it was the Home for the Holidays show, and I had been upset all week because I was like, man, my dad's dead. This is all a mess. And I didn't even want to go on stage because I was just not in a good mood. I spent all day crying, and then it was like 6:30. I'm like, I have to leave my house to go be funny now. And I got on stage.
Mary, why you bugging?
I was in such a weird headspace that I said 4 or 5 sentences that didn't make any sense and didn't go together. And then I was so jumbled around. And then I just blurted out to the crowd. I was like, man, I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just having a real weird day. My dad's dead. And then everyone was like, what? And then I was like, everyone's going to die, you know?
He's not newly dead, if that makes you feel any better.
Right.
There's been a bit of time.
And then I couldn't.
This isn't the beginning of my grieving process. You guys can appreciate that, right? You get it.
After I told them all they were going to die, it was kind of hard to dig myself out of the next 10 minutes.
But you weren't giving them new information.
No, but it was also...
You think they'd be able to play past that?
They're like, oh, it's 2 days before Christmas. You're standing next to a tree.
That was a weird show.
So that's a weird day to start. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was not in a good headspace.
Those people didn't give Santa the love that he deserved either. So
Well, yeah, Santa
that
came and
crowd,
did that show. I forgot about that. Yeah. Everyone struggled. So not only drunk hecklers had rough shows.
Why do you think it was so difficult? I mean, dead dad aside, why do you think it was so difficult to get people rolling at a Christmas show? Why would Santa be met with such vitriol from the crowd?
They were
Santa Claus.
They were a tough crowd for literally everybody.
And it was the day when everybody was getting coronavirus.
Yeah.
Where I think everybody in there was like, I don't know if we should be here.
Right.
I think we should. I don't know if it was worth coming out to see some guy do Santa jokes.
So it wasn't the real Santa.
Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
I don't wanna give
Maybe
anything
that
away.
confusion is what screwed up the vibe of the room.
Oh, what if they all found out? If you have small kids listening, turn your radio down. What if they all found out that wasn't the real Santa Claus?
Well, Santa
That's
does
when
have.
they found out.
That again, that doesn't negate Santa.
Pretty
That's
sure it
just
was the real Santa.
Yeah. There's the co-conspirators out there that are pretending, and well, yeah, a weird time to be trying to make people laugh. I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was just like last year all over again because people were kind of cautious and weird and uncomfortable. And what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? And then I tried to do jokes about having COVID after telling everyone my dad had died from COVID and that they were all going to die too. And then I was like...
Hey guys, Larry Santora, everybody.
I was like, yeah, coughing's weird, right?
Coughing's weird. Sounds a lot like coughing. By the way, my dad's dead.
You ever cough so hard you throw up?
Yeah,
that's
been
a bad
there,
one.
amen. Blood, all right.
Guys, is blood in your pee bad? Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
There had to be people who were enjoying it, though. There had to be people who were
it ended up
wanted
being
to,
fun.
kind of immerse themselves in a bit of a darker time at the holidays.
Well, I also think I asked people to clap if their dad was dead, and a few people clapped, and I was like, see? Other people are sad too.
So you were fully off the rails is what you're doing.
There was no saving this set. It was a real train wreck. I drank a fake Heineken because I wanted to get drunk so bad. All I wanted to do was just get annihilated and just not feel and forget that I was sad.
Right.
I didn't.
All right, that's my time. Good night. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. My dad's dead.
So I was like, okay, maybe drinking a fake beer will help. It did not help.
Did not help. Drinking a fake beer never helps.
Usually it curbs my craving because I'm like, okay, I never really enjoyed alcohol anyway. I only ever wanted to get drunk, so I'll drink like a half of a non-alcoholic beer and I'll feel better. But between being sad and then bombing and then still wanting to get drunk, then I just had like 3 non-alcoholic Heinekens and I'm like, this is pointless.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, though, having actual alcohol wouldn't have made you feel any better either.
No, it would have been way worse.
Way worse.
I'd have been dead today.
Yes.
If I would have gotten drunk Christmas Eve, 100%.
Hey, guys, we're back live today after a break. Mary Santora's dead, like her dad. And
buried right next to him. No big deal.
Yeah, that's right. Text if you've got questions.
I drank so much eggnog over the break.
God, I love eggnog.
That's one thing I did treat myself to. I was like, I can't go nowhere. I can't do nothing. Might as well get fat. And I ordered like 2 quarts of eggnog, or not ordered. Like,
Quarts?
so good.
Jesus, I
That's
dropped
how they
10
come.
pounds over the break.
That's
Huh?
how they come in like the cardboard.
Yeah, I know. 2 of them.
I would.
Why
I
did you
love
treat
it.
yourself? It was a week.
Did you put some rum in it? Some spiced rum or anything? Or just the nog?
Just the nog.
The thick toddy.
He likes a straight nog.
Yeah. Heavy on the nog, low on the egg.
Did any of you guys lose like taste and smell when you had it?
No.
No.
I had like all the flu symptoms
Okay.
and then the coughing and chest
I wonder how
problems.
many people are actually losing their taste and smell as opposed to the fact that most food now doesn't taste like anything. Our taste buds have been blasted and destroyed for so long
Yeah.
that nothing tastes like anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know what tastes great? Steak on a stone.
Here we go. Amen.
That's why, like, foods now have to, like, destroy... They have to ratchet up the spices and the heat and everything else to just get through to people's taste buds. Because, like, food has been processed in such a way for so long that everything tastes like everything else now.
Well, it's because
unless
during the
it's super-
90s, we wanted extreme flavor. And we weren't ready to pay that price.
Right, yeah. The technology had advanced farther than we were prepared to handle it.
When I had COVID, I was pretty nauseous, so I was sticking to like the brat, toast and bananas and stuff like that. And it got to the point where I cooked an entire box of noodles and was just eating noodles with my hands, like cold noodles out of a bowl from my fridge. And I'm like, you know what? This is doing the trick. I'm sustaining. All we need is calories.
Well, right, because
but-
noodles aren't going to taste like anything anyway.
Right,
So,
where
yeah,
I was
you
like,
just-
this isn't going to be spicy. I don't have to
Right.
worry about flavor. Let's just get something in our stomachs
Yeah.
so we can go to sleep.
Okay, listen, I got to take a break. I'm going to have Cavs tickets for you on the way back if you want to catch a game. Got to wear your mask. But nevertheless, Cavs are going to be taking on the Knicks on the 24th of this month at the Romo Fijo. So I'll get you some Cavs tickets, Bill Burr tickets later on, too, if you want to get to that show next spring. 35192, you want to text, and we'll be back.